Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well. Hopefully, you had a decent weekend. I just did the usual, if you will, of trying to keep up with different things going on. Obviously, a lot of stuff is going on. Um, Man, I'll tell you what, as far as the stuff that's going over there in Ukraine, I've been trying to keep an eye on it, but a lot of it, in some cases, some of it just doesn't add up. And in other cases, um, I don't know. It almost seems, on some level, it seems orchestrated to me. Like it was, agreed upon. Like what they could have or where they could go, how far they could. Because, I don't know. I just don't, the way they're approaching it, it's almost like all these countries that supposedly consider Ukraine an ally, it's just giving them to the wolves, so to speak. They're not, yeah, sure, you can give them, weapons, and I get it. I get it. If anybody steps foot in that realm, you're looking at World War III. I get it. Um, I don't know. No matter what, it's a tough call, but there's just something that seems off. And it's hard to say, and it could just be me, obviously, but it's hard to say. I mean, it's hard to say what it is that just seems so off to me, but there's something about it that just seems a bit strange. Um, so anyway, beyond that, obviously there's a convoy, or I should say convoys going on, because there are multiple right here in the U.S. So today, the People's Convoy, that would be Brian Brazzi's group, successfully completed 2 trips around the Beltway, and then back to Hagerstown Speedway, where they had been before. To my knowledge, from my understanding, and I'm gonna play the little talk that Brian gave tonight at the end of the day. I'm gonna play that for you. Apparently, they're gonna essentially do the same thing tomorrow. Hopefully, a little more organized. Not that I don't think today was a disaster by any means for them, but they did have some challenges they had to meet, and I think that they had worked out some ways to hopefully mitigate that for tomorrow. So anyway, I'm gonna jump to that and play that interview real quick. Or not interview, I call it an interview. And it's not really a speech because he didn't really kind of do that tonight. So, but anyway, here's Brian Brazzi. Let me bring up the web browser here, and this is the WYSIWYG TV channel is where I'm pulling this video from. I think there's I only know of a couple different ones, and I think this one's a better copy. So anyway, WYSIWYG TV is who's got this particular copy, and it's just Brian Brazzi, so it's not like there's a bunch of different speakers or anything. So anyway, here's what they had to say at the end of today.
Test. Good evening. Can we put it?
Yeah, we can do it.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, poor Wendy.
Anybody missing a phone? Somebody just gave me a phone. I can't see nothing. Phone and a house key, silver house key. Anybody missing a phone or a house key? If you're missing a phone or a house key, please come up here. I'm not really going to put out any important information tonight. I just wanted to get everybody here together to say, wow.
Totally. Thank you very much for that turnout.
Today, a lot of work was accomplished here on the ground while everybody was gone. A lot of work was accomplished out there on the Beltway. A powerful statement was made by so many of you that, well, the media is trying to say that we fizzled out. I think it's time they come down here and see for themselves just who in the heck we are. So Fox News, listen up. MSNBC, NBC, CNN, whoever you may be. I think it's time you probably come down here and see for yourself what's really going on, because you're starting to act like the politicians. That's enough of that chit-chat. I got other stuff to talk about. Yeah. I can tell you we're all on the Beltway because I can smell it. Seriously, though, I need to take my hat off right now. Hats off, please. Take your hats off to all the volunteers that stuck back here today. They busted their butts. Busted their butts for each and every one of you. Voluntarily stuck back after the convoy left to get this organization that you see right now all around you. I mean, everywhere. The trucks have been unloaded. The supply trucks have been organized back underneath the grandstand over there. That is basically a supporters grocery store. Everything in there is free. Nobody pays for it. It's all donated items to support the convoy. Whether you're a trucker, a four-wheeler, or an RV, it don't matter. Go in there and get whatever you need. Please go in there and get whatever you need. Stock up. Get some breakfast food. Get some water. Get some sodas. Get whatever you need. Go over there and get it and stock up now. Please. Not right now this second. Wait till this is over. But seriously, hats off to all the volunteers. I wish I could name all their names, but I just possibly can't. They have busted their butt. The security team busted their butt. The people parking busted their butt. The mechanics out here busted their butt. The folks unloading those trucks and organizing supplies busted their butt. Without these hardworking folks in the background, none of this is possible. So give them a big round of applause and cheer. Give them a long one. And I want to say thank you. Thank you. And those of you that have done it, this is to you personally. Thank you. From me, thank you. Man, it's amazing. I stuck back today. I didn't get to go out there today. I stuck back to try to work. I had to get 5 hours of work done today to try to get these meetings, and I thought figuring this out on my own, but I didn't do it on my own by any means. In fact, I barely did anything because of the support from everybody that stepped up to help. It's brought me to tears twice today. Once when I walked back there and saw that, and the other time when I came out and seen the way all these trucks and motorhomes and cars are being parked. I couldn't have done it, that's for sure. Well, I mean, seriously. Just well done. Well done. The People's Convoy. Listen, I could sit up here and spew all the normal stuff that we do at the rallies, and I just don't want to do that. I think today was a very special day. I think today we have a win. Today was amazing. It looked good on all the live feeds that I was able to watch and all the news reports that I was getting. Everybody wanting statements and questions, and then watching the fake news say fake crap, as usual. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. is the next drivers meeting. So remember that, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's a lot of important information to put out tomorrow based on lessons learned today and things like that, and how we're going to operate going forward, going out onto the Beltway. And that's right, we're doing it again tomorrow. Tonight, you know, gentleman walked up here and he said he wants this back. But I'm going to read this letter that I got a chance to read. He said it didn't belong to him. It belonged to all of us. It belonged to all of you. It's the part that gets me. I'm just going to read.
I should have fixed it right there.
Come on, boy, you got this.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. No amount of thank yous will ever be enough. You are my hero. You have stood your ground. And you are saving us from the tyrannical government. I lost my business from the shutdown. To feed myself and my 2 small dogs, I worked side jobs doing hair. Had the cops called on me a few times. I felt drained for a long time. God gave me strength when I was losing all hope. God gave us truckers to stand up for our rights. You are the line protecting us from the evil that exists. I will always pray for you, your loved ones, and when I sleep at night, I will feel safe knowing you are out there holding the line. Thank you so much. Love, Stephanie. If the gentleman that gave me this letter would come back up so I could give it back to you, I don't want to lose this. Thank you for allowing us to read that out loud. This stack right here, just handed to me, is just one small stack of letters, cards, pictures, just from the Northeast Convoy that joined up with us yesterday. We joined up with them. They beat us here. But from the Northeast People's Convoy, this is just one small stack that they've received of letters to be handed out to drivers. Every day since this journey started in Adelanto, California to today has been that. Letters, pictures, things that just help keep us going, make you cry, whatever it may be. But the point I'm trying to get at before I break down here is that the folks on the overpasses, the folks along the interstate, the volunteers that are here, the people from the communities that just come down to show their support, they're the fuel that feeds us to keep on going. Without having those folks that have worked so hard behind the scenes and those people up on the bridges cheering us on, I don't know if we would have made it here. I'm sure enough of us have just enough willpower to do it anyways, but having those folks come out like they do, and the letters from school children and the volunteers doing things that I don't even think you can pay people enough to do. And the truckers are here for everybody in a camper and a car and a motorcycle and the golf cart that can keep up. Listen, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I love every single one of you. And on behalf of all the organizers, thank you so much for everybody that continues to hold the line here. Thank you to the people that are out there in the back sleeping in tents in the cold. Thank you to the folks in the cars sleeping in the cars. Thank you to everybody that has worked tirelessly day. Importantly, thank you to America for all of you. tomorrow we'll put out important convoy information just based on things that occurred today and stuff like that. But tonight I don't want to get into all that. There's a lot of notes that got to be read. So I just want to say it's very important that as many of you as possible in the convoy, not just the truckers or RVs or just the cars, it's all of us. Everybody needs to try to be here tomorrow morning. It's just informational meeting kind of stuff, but we need to get you guys all down here 8 o'clock tomorrow morning so that we can talk about this new setup and how it should work.
Speed limit. Trucks are going way too fast. I was doing 65 trying to catch up to people.
The lead truck was doing 45 almost all day. That's why I want to talk about convoy operations in the morning, exactly how to do this the right way. So we'll work together, we'll get it done, but you know what? We're all back here, right? We all did it. We had a great day. We showed a powerful message. I wanna do one special shout out to all the healthcare workers, the educators around the world. I don't know if you knew this, but you're actually the largest industry in the country, and I believe in the world. Healthcare and teacher services, education services, is the largest industry in this country. I looked it up today because somebody stumped me today with a question and made me think about what's next. And so to all the teachers and to all the healthcare workers, jab or no jab, come join us at the People's Convoy. Come on out. Come on out. Now is your time as well. And to the truck drivers, once again, around the world, now is your time to stand up. I'm hearing that they're trying, and they're getting shut down, some of them, before they even get going. So I think they also need to remind their government, just like we do, that they work for us. Tonight, we're going to play some music. It sounds like we're going to get a little movie going even, right? Yeah. So there's going to be a movie up here. Grab your camping chairs. Come out up here. Put them out. We'll play a movie. I have no idea what movie. What movie are you playing? Anybody got the movie Convoy on them? If anybody's got the movie downloaded and ready to play, we can put that up here. Otherwise, I guess we're going to listen to music till we find the movie Convoy. It's on Netflix right now. Netflix is shouting us out with the movie.
Somebody's got it. I had your mom, but I've watched it so many times.
This is, like gentleman just said to me up here, this is a lot of serious stuff that we've been doing and what we're continuing to do. So tonight is not a night to or nothing, but it's time to relax a little bit. We had a very challenging day today that went off successfully. Let's sit back, enjoy each other's company, and just hang out. Remember, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, as many people as possible get here. And one last time, a major round of applause and a hats off to all the volunteers that worked so hard today. I also wanted to say, I don't know if he made his way up here yet. Is he over here? Canada. Where's Canada at? He's back there. Let me tell you guys something. A guy that was in Ottawa has joined us. I love you, Canada, and we always got your back.
Okay, that pretty much wraps up what he had to say. So anyway, there's actually two individuals, or actually three to be technical, from Canada that had came down, and I don't know the name of the broadcast, the podcast, whatever it is that the wife and husband has that's down here as well. But Travel Fund 69, I believe, is the one that Brian was referring to in that. He is actually down there, and like I say, there's a husband and wife that have some type of a news outlet up there in Canada that were up there in Ottawa. So interesting. So and she was talking on one of the streams I was watching earlier about how she's a dual citizen, and she felt it was important to cover both. And so anyway, it was a very interesting day to watch what was going on. So I figured, hey, mainstream news is not going to put out, Brian speaking what he had to say. So I feel like it's our responsibility in media, alternative media, if you will, to get that message out. And so that's why I went ahead and played that. So, like I say, the one on WYSIWYG TV, if you will, was a better copy than the other one that I originally watched. So, apparently the signal for mobile devices down there is atrocious. So a lot of people can't even get enough signal to make a phone call, from my understanding. So even that some streamers can get a little bit out, even if it is a little jittery, it seems to be a pretty good deal there. Trying to think. I don't know really of anything else to add. I don't have any tabs open, and the reason why, it has been crazy trying to put out my news on Twitter and Facebook, because, as you know, well, let me show you. Let me go with this. I think that's the right button. Yeah, that's the ticket. Bring this over here, though. Up here, I've got a little RT thingy. And if I click on that, it normally has a bunch of RT, links in it for articles. And it's chronological of when the articles come out. And as articles build up, a little number up here typically shows me how many articles there are. When I tell you, when I get up in the morning, oh my goodness, there was 30, 40 articles, that's what I'm talking about. There's a little number that typically comes up there. Well, today I was unpleasantly surprised by my little doohickey not working anymore. So apparently, and that is a Microsoft Store app, RT's Microsoft Store app, actually, for Chrome, and no longer works. So, our extension, it's not an app, I guess, technically, it's an extension. But anyway, it no longer works. And so now I have to do it totally on my phone, and I just have to periodically go and check, because guess what? I don't get notifications on my phone when RT has breaking news or anything coming out. Interesting. The app still works, however, no notifications, and I have to use it to put out news, so kind of messed up. Anyway, so I don't have any tabs open, because most of the time, if you try to open up RT in Chrome, let's see, I've got a browser here. We'll see if it actually let me open it up. Nope. There you go. Oh, let me go ahead and go back to that view. There you go. 403 forbidden. That's what I get. So, interesting, huh? And I can use Microsoft Edge. Sometimes it's blocked, but most of the time it will let me through. But the Google app the Android app on my phone, as far as being able to open up as far as looking at the articles and stuff like that, all that works great. It just doesn't have notifications. And I'm sure you probably can't download the Android app in the Google Play Store at this particular time. I already had it on my phone, so it's ridiculous. Is what I'm trying to get at. It is ridiculous what they are doing to control what it is that we see. And I'm just being real honest when I tell you that I think that RT is reporting on a lot of this stuff very honestly. I really can't see anything that they would be... Now, there are op-ed articles and stuff like that, obviously, that comes out. I don't share those. Okay? I try to catch that when I'm going through the headlines. To me, that's not news. That's an opinion. And so I try to catch that and not share anything out like that. Everything that I share out is typically news. I mean, facts-based, you know. And anyway, I think they're pretty honest with the information that they put out there. And to me, it's telling for all these different governments to start trying to block RT when RT's been the one that's been straight with us about most all of this from the get-go. Starting from day one with the COVID stuff, you know, all the way to now with this Ukraine stuff, they've been straight. They've been straight. And I honestly think that is why they're being made public enemy number one. So, they want everybody confused. Right now they're losing control. And so they're trying to not only mitigate the damage that's already been done, but they're trying to get that last bit of control over us. And I don't think it's going to work. I hope it's not going to work. Anyway, let me go ahead and just get to the headlines. I'll read the headlines. We have them all from Sunday, obviously. I mean, Sunday. It is Sunday. From Friday, obviously. So got quite a few headlines to go through. But like I said, I don't have any tabs open because they wouldn't open anyway if I tried. So, let me have a sip of coffee before we start. I mean, it's really ridiculous, right? When you have to use proxies or something just to get news. Just to get honest news. Because I could do that stuff, by the way. I could use proxies and it would all work just fine. But I'm not going to do that because then everything routes through the proxy. And for instance, if I want to download something, well, then that routes through the proxy. And if the proxy's not got the same internet speed I do, you know, and if I can't get it in and out to them, you know, in other words, it would slow it down dramatically. So I don't mess with that. Only if I would need to. If all other avenues are pretty well cut off for me getting information, I would absolutely start using proxies and getting information that way. Alright. See, like, let me show you the real quick. Let me go back to here. And we're going to go to open this article here. Oh, it opened. Okay, so this article opened. Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. Let me scroll up a little bit and try another article. Now, see, it's going to make me a liar now. It works sometimes and other times it doesn't. It's really weird. But I was going to show you there's a proxy website you can go to and just put the address of the article in the line, you know, in the space, and hit go. And you can choose servers from all over the world. And what it does is it routes that connection to that server in that location and then to the website that you want to go to. So in other words, if a web address is blocked from the United States, but say it wasn't from Europe, then you could route through Europe before you hit the website. So the website sees you in Europe. Well, it all sees you in Europe. So in other words, it will let it through so you can see it. It's just using proxy. What is the one I have in here? I think it's proxysite.com or something. Yeah, proxysite.com. And over here you choose servers, a bunch of US and a bunch of EU. And there's other proxy websites as well. You put your URL in there, just click go, and it will bring it up. So pardon me. And then there's other ways to proxy using proxy addresses. To where you can set your computer up, your internet browser, if you will. Well, technically your computer, to run through a proxy address. I'm not a networking expert, but I do know how to proxy. So anyway, and I highly recommend it, especially if you don't want cut off from information, because they are going to make information. I think I don't see this easing up. I don't see any of this stuff easing up, and I think they are going to make getting information extremely hard. And so knowing little tricks like that, like little proxy tricks, might be a good idea. So, because they're going to make it really hard, and I think that's going to be coming up real quick like. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Alrighty, I got drainage and stuff like crazy today. Alright, let's start this like I said I was going to do like 10 minutes ago. Western leaders, this is Sunday's, I can't get it right for nothing, Friday's news. Western leaders react to Ukraine nuclear plant incident. Yeah, from my understanding they said, holy shit, no, I'm kidding. U.S. Senator calls for assassination of Putin. Fire extinguished at key Ukrainian nuclear plant. Again, this is Friday's information. I'm sure some people will be like, I know that. White House responds to calls to strip Russia of UN Security Council seat. Google takes new Russia measure. Bastards. Airbnb stops working in Russia. Russia unable to appeal Beijing Paralympic ban. Russia cancels space launch with OneWeb satellites. All this stuff is really important information to keep an eye on. Okay, canceling satellite launches and stuff like that. You really want to keep an eye out for them closing airspace. Anybody closing airspace. Really want to keep an eye out for that. Russia halts payments on bonds and shares to foreigners. I mean, this is escalating on so many levels in so many different ways. It does, I'll be honest, it does concern me what's happening with Russia right now. Russia reacts to U.S. Senator Putin's assassination plea. BBC Deutsch, I guess it's Deutsche Welle, and other websites restricted in Russia. They probably can't say it either. UK could struggle to sanction Russian oligarchs, says media. Sanctions on tycoon's empire dropped except for yacht and jet. I'm glad they didn't sanction my yacht and jet because I'd been really pissed off. Norway suspends all dialogue with Moscow on education and research. Although we might need a yacht if this rain keeps up. And by yacht, I mean like, I don't know, little bathtub or something floating down the road. Freezing Moscow's Forex reserves may dethrone greenback, strategist says. Attack on mosque leaves at least 30 dead. That was in Pakistan. And again, still on Friday's news. Russian MOD responds to Zaporozhye nuclear power station incident. And I know I royally butchered that name, but I tried. Hungarian PM says countries can't count on NATO to protect them. What gave you the first clue? Ukraine sanctions lead to $80 billion loss for Russia's richest. RT broadcast restored in Serbia. Taiwan should be recognized as free and sovereign country, says former top U.S. diplomat. Russia criminalizes disinformation about army. Yeah, so if you go say anything that they claim is untrue, then they'll arrest you. It's crazy, actually, what's going on right now with the Russian citizens. I mean, we all see everything that's going on with the convoys and stuff like that. You know of the situation in Canada with convoys. You know there's many political prisoners they have up there in Canada right now. And you see all that going on, and that is not even anything compared to the craziness, at least that we're told about, that's going on in Russia. All I can say is we're told about it. I'm not there. But we're being told that protesters, anti-war protesters over there in Russia are being arrested by the hundreds. And again, I can't personally confirm that, but that's what the reports say, and that's including from RT. And I'm just going to be real honest with you. I kind of trust RT. I really do. I've been following them for years for a reason. Let's see. Belarus reveals when its new constitution will take effect. Ukrainian refugees could be housed in oligarchs' mansions. A crypto exchange block sanctioned Russian accounts. China to pull Premier League broadcasts because of pro-Ukraine displays, says reports. NATO talks options but sees no place for own troops in Ukraine. Germany downplays extremists traveling to fight in Ukraine. Putin should not be assassinated, Boris Johnson says. Moscow gradually reducing its demands, a Ukrainian official claims. Let's see. Microsoft suspends business in Russia. Putin addresses Russia's neighbors. European gas prices soar to all-time high. Former Austrian chancellor quits Russian oil giant over Ukraine. Kremlin reacts to U.S. senator's call to assassinate Putin. Chechen leader makes Ukraine plea to Putin. And yeah, speaking on that, Lindsey Graham, that was ridiculous for him to make a statement like that. That is careless and reckless of him to make that statement. That was insane. Medvedev drops Russian flag from Instagram account. Chicken Kiev to be renamed. NATO strengthens cooperation with Finland and Sweden. Experts tell RT how Russian offensive in Ukraine will end. Ukraine to issue NFTs to fund the army. Sounds like a great idea. Here, buy this fake stuff so that we can fund our army. That'd go over well. That's, I don't know. I know it stands for non-fungible token. Now, whatever the hell that is, I really don't know. But from my understanding, you're buying bullshit. If I'm not mistaken, that's essentially what it is. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let's see. An article on how to access RT. Let's see. Russia blocks Facebook. So that's kind of one of the reasons why this is going on with RT and stuff, because there's a lot of blocking going on, cyber blocking, so if you will. I don't know, it sounds kind of goopy saying it like that, I guess. No elevated radiation levels following Ukraine's nuclear power station shelling, says the U.S. Again, we're still on Friday's news. U.S. lawmakers react to call for Putin assassination. NATO will pay for its weakness, Kiev says. BBC, CNN, and Bloomberg pull out of Russia. North Korea launches unidentified projectile. Again, Friday. Oh, well, now we're on yesterday. Netflix battles child porn charges. That was over the whole cuties thing. Italy seizes yacht of Russian steel tycoon. U.S. unveils Russia oil and gas sanctions plan. Russia declares temporary ceasefire in Ukraine. Again, this is yesterday. And you're going to see this turn right back around. China makes Taiwan warning. Samsung temporarily suspends shipments to Russia, says reports. Musk's Starlink will only block Russian media at gunpoint. Apparently what they're saying. U.S. gaming juggernaut stops sales in Russia. UN reveals phenomenal Ukraine refugee numbers. Russia claims it obliterated Ukraine foreign weapons depot. Hopefully refugees will soon be able to return to Ukraine, says Zelensky. U.S. flies strategic bombers over NATO's eastern flank. Again, this is yesterday's news. India wants to bypass dollar to keep trading with Russia. Luxury brands halt sales in Russia. Russia to host own events after Beijing ban. Russia and Belarus suspended from Council of the Baltic Sea states. I'm sure their feelings are hurt. Crude could hit $200 in case of Moscow energy embargo, says U.S. shale boss. That would be insane, but I won't say impossible. I kind of suspect it. PayPal shuts down operations in Russia. Twitch halts payments for Russian streamers. I told you there's a whole lot of kind of cyber stuff going on. I'm calling it cyber blocking. I don't know what you would call it. What's the word? Cancel culture. It's cyber canceling. There you go. It's cyber canceling. Declassified papers reveal extent of U.S. military aid to Ukraine, says the media. Ukraine postpones civilian evacuation from besieged Mariupol. I'm sure I said that wrong. Kremlin accuses the West of excessive emotion. Nah. I need to go to my safe space. U.S. Senator blasts Wall Street for undermining anti-Russia sanctions. Lightning all doing the lightning thing. Russia too big to isolate, the Kremlin claims. Putin comments on the possibility of martial law in Russia. I want to know about the possibility of it here. UK advises its citizens to get out of Russia. Kremlin defends harsh fake military news law. SCOTUS sides with FBI in Mosque spying case. Still on yesterday's news. U.S. outlines position on dialogue with Russia. Kremlin reveals goal of Ukraine offensive. Ukraine-Russia negotiator killed, says reports. France urges its businesses not to be in a hurry to leave Russia, says the media. Putin explains why Ukraine attack went beyond Donbass. Trump warned Putin that the U.S. would hit Moscow, the ex-president tells golfer. Moscow explains unidentified government flight from Russia to the U.S. Putin wants to punish foreigners. That's the claim, anyway. Red Cross updates on Ukraine humanitarian corridors. Offensive in Ukraine resumes after ceasefire, says Russia. So, in other words, the ceasefire failed. So, Russia's biggest airline halts international flights. Still on yesterday, by the way. Beijing outlines position on Ukraine escalation. Kiev putting Ukrainian statehood at risk, Putin warns. Putin defends motivation for Ukraine offensive. Human rights body appeals to UN over Paralympics ban on innocent. And you notice how the pictures don't show up anymore or anything like that. I mean, it's insane what they're doing to try to block RT. Let's see. Visa and MasterCard suspend operations in Russia. U.S. drafts plan for government in exile, guerrilla war in Ukraine, says reports. And let me have a sip of coffee because we are to today. A lot of headlines. Not quite as many as today, but man. Then I expect it to continue to get crazier. We're just getting started. Just getting started. Alright. Here's the headlines I put out today. Israeli PM meets with Putin, says Scholes. Zelensky pleads for jets or no-fly zone. Australia doesn't rule out arming Taiwan against China. U.S. sends delegation to Venezuela, says media. U.S. and China discuss Ukraine, says Taiwan. Or Ukraine and Taiwan, sorry. Pakistan strikes key deal with Russia to buy gas and wheat, says reports. Russian community center attacked in Canada. U.S. works with Poland to send jets to Ukraine, says the media. U.S. state-run media outlet halts operations in Russia. Russian companies are now allowed to pay foreign creditors in rubles. Ukraine Zelensky says Elon Musk will send more Starlink systems. A new humanitarian corridor set up in Donbass. Boris Johnson sets out 6-point plan for Ukraine. EU comments on warplanes for Kiev. Russian banks switch to Chinese Union Pay. Seoul imposes export control measures on Belarus over Ukraine conflict. By the way, all this stuff of pushing them, Russia, away from the U.S. dollar, it's just going to hurt us. It's just devaluing the dollar. That's all it's doing. And that's why I'm saying that some of this stuff, it almost makes me kind of wonder if it isn't being orchestrated. Just kind of strange. Putin, let's see. Putin reveals conditions for offensive in Ukraine to stop. Russia-Ukraine crisis puts pressure on microchip supply chain. A news site founded by Pussy Riot activists blocked in Russia. Pope says Ukraine crisis a war, not a military operation. Well, I won't say what you are, but it is what it is. Moody's downgrades Russia's credit ratings to pre-default. Ukraine appears to confirm death of negotiator dubbed traitor by the media. UK journalist praised by PM as one-sided evidence suggests they were hit by Russians in Kiev. British energy giant apologizes for purchase of Russian discounted oil. Tony Blair thought invading Iraq was the right thing to do. Kiev accuses Ukrainian MP of state treason. Putin decides on meeting over Ukraine's nuclear plants. Russia claims Ukraine destroying evidence of U.S.-funded bioweapons program. Red Cross calls on Russia and Ukraine to agree on civilian corridors. U.S. gives NATO countries green light to provide fighter jets to Ukraine. So that's going to be another escalation. Thousands detained at anti-war protests across Russia. And again, that's RT News, reporting that. So I can only assume it's true. U.S. hints at what happens if Zelensky is killed. Trump jokes about false flagging Russia into war with China, says the media. Russia confirms striking Ukrainian Air Force airfield in country's west. TikTok blocks content from Russia. Netflix suspends services in Russia. Imran Khan hits out at West for treating Pakistanis like slaves. And that's it. That other one's just a pinned tweet up there that I tried to explain how I'm getting to RT's website. But that's hit or miss as it stands as well. So anyway, it's, been kind of a crazy weekend really in news. So, and like I say, I expect it just to escalate. So I expect tomorrow we'll probably see a pretty good escalation in news. So, just my guess. So, not so much, I don't think, with a convoy. I think they'll have another uneventful day tomorrow. But as far as this escalation with Russia, yeah, I think it's gonna. I think tomorrow is gonna escalate significantly. So, anyway, I'm gonna sneak out the back door here and relax for the rest of the evening, and I hope you all do the same. We're gonna have crazy times ahead, so make sure you're doing all the things and relaxing when you can and trying to keep that balance. So anyway, I am getting out of here, and God willing, we'll be back tomorrow, and I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.